It's a pet peeve of yours when those resumes come through and they're just not so good. So in terms of separating one candidate from another, I'm going to pull up a resume here and I want you to give your commentary on it, and then we'll go to another resume and we'll talk about that one from there. So if you could pull my screen up, please. So I'm going to go to so this is ostensibly above the fold. Now, by the way, Andrew, how much time do you typically spend on a resume?
Oh, 10 seconds. About 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
And something to understand, both sales recruiters and hiring managers in sales have ADD. So that's probably a long time.
Perfect.
10 seconds.
So let's spend 10 seconds on this. Talk to me. What do you see?
I always feel like I want to go up there and start, with a pointer and start hitting things there. And objective, take that off. I mean, if you want it specific. I mean, you know what company you're going into. You don't need to tell them what you're looking for. That's just waste. That's waste of space. That's waste of good real estate. The skills. I'm looking at that, and okay, excellent written verbal communication skills. Things like that are throwaways because they'll know by reading your resume how your written skills are. Verbal, when they talk to you, they'll know how it is, and likable. I mean, by who's deciding if you're likable? Is you should have some sort of citation by how you got that. Enthusiastic, persuasive. That's okay. That's all this stuff is blah.
Right.
And I'm moving down to see. The first thing I notice is the social media, Microsoft Excel, Word, Access, because that starts telling you some specifics that they know. So you know that they know what everyone else knows. Fluent in Spanish. That's key, especially in California.
And you like that?
Yeah, you definitely want to put out things. And touching on that, well, I guess we're about to go down to education, so I'll speak to that next. Education should only be at the top of your resume if you just graduated. And for this person, it looks like they've had some experience going, they don't have a date when they graduate, so I don't know. But you want to put your education down at the bottom, because whatever they see first is kind of defines who you are. And if you're defined by your education, then it's okay to be defined by your education, you just graduated, but and you have no other work experience, otherwise you want it at the bottom. And also for education, you want to put down things if you were involved, if you were in the Greek system, and you were in fraternity or sorority, you want to say that you held a position, because that shows leadership. And there's a lot of, and if you were in any sports, you want to say that. You want to do the same thing you would for your sales positions in college. Self-finance 100% of education by working 40 hours a week. Your GPA, if it's 3.0 or above. And
how about the experience here?
There's just nothing there. I like that I would start it off the very first 3 lines. Where it says the name of the company and what they did. I mean, their title. But after that, if you don't know what the company actually does, I don't know what Kruger Industrial smoothing. I guess okay. And then I don't know what that is. But you should put a small description of what the company is, and then when you get to the bullet points, which I love bullet points, they need to be specific. Social media marketer for several company retail. Okay. How many company retail stores were you a social media marketer for? What were some of your accomplishments? What were some of the ideas that you brought to the table? I mean, there's a lot more, and I really don't have time right now to go through it.
Like one line. He's got one line for each of his jobs, and it's not very specific. I mean, Andrew, this dude has just explained his job, not what he accomplished in his job, right?
It's frustrating to me, because I feel for this person, because they don't have support. They obviously don't have support in their lives, and I mean, I believe it or not, I actually care about people, and I want people to do well. And so I will send how to redo a resume to someone that I can't help, but just because I want to help them out,
right.
I'll shoot one off. Probably about 5 a day that I do that.
Good. Well, let's take a look at an after picture here. And yeah, that's right. I'm a Niner fan. You're just gonna have to get over it. But let's talk about this resume. And you've said some things already, but I want you to crystallize now for our viewers why this is that much better and a good template to use.
Okay, well right there it says Peak Performers Inc. Fantastic name for a company, I must say that. Unbelievable. And it says what it is, 500 500 winner that specializes in direct placement, senior executive level sales and technology professionals. Okay, so it's a quick description. That's all you need, no more than that. Okay, then you have the title, which is good. And then it has a little description of what, as an area manager, what the person did. And then the bullet points, which I love. Look at those numbers on it. 120% of quota, 2006. Brought in 350,000 net sales. The person before, I don't even know, that person doesn't even exist to me anymore. This person, I want to marry this resume. That's all I have to say. Look at those numbers, 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 numbers. And even instead of writing down, this one has number one the correct way, but don't write down number one, O-N-E. You want actual number. And this is not like you're writing this is not like in English class. You don't write a resume like you would in English class. So you can have numbers up front, like number one, number two. You can start that way. Yeah, no, this one is succinct, has numbers. I mean, it's just very clean.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things I love about this resume is that not only, if somebody says to me in an industry that I don't know, like Kruger Industrial Smoothing, what's an annual quota for somebody who works at Kruger Industrial Smoothing? I have no clue. So when somebody says, I generated $300,000 this year, I have no idea if that's good or not. In this resume that we just saw, that candidate then parenthetically noted that they were 175% against a quota of $200,000 for that full year quota expectation. That tells me that that's somebody that is top of the class. Not only did they say number one, but they provided some specifics there.
That's an excellent point. Excellent point. So you have to have some sort of, make it referenceable.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Fantastic. And note that there's no skills associated with this, and the resume goes on. It's list accomplishments, achievements. There's your educational background, listing 4 accomplished, 4-year varsity letter award, or clubs, or were they president of their sorority or fraternity or something like that. And then professional training, certification.
Yeah.
Did they take a sales training class on their own or something like that? That's cool stuff that tells me that they're well-rounded, bigger, badder, better than maybe somebody else that I'm interviewing, right?